Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today we're welcoming back Masahdur Khan, and he is the founder and CEO of Khan Properties Group and also host of American Dream Podcast. Masahdur, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's really an honor and privilege to be back to the show. Thank you.
Man, Masahdur, your title is getting longer and longer when I bring you back on. You're also author of, and the book that we just released together. So Mission Matters, Business Leaders Edition. And your content within that book was called Leading with Love. And we're going to get into what that means. But first off, I just want to say, man, congrats. I'm so excited to publish your work.
Thank you very much. It was very excited. I was able to meet some of my people that I do care. I was in Bangladesh. I took a couple of books with me and I showed them, and we celebrate our the publications with our people, and we kind of telling people right now that this is the book that we publish, and I think I read the chapter of the other people. It's very productive book. I think there's a lot of benefits out of the book. So I'm excited to, be in the book and in this journey with you. And thank you for your support and putting everything to make it so easy and put together for us.
You're too kind. And I'll just say this. I didn't know we were in Bangladesh now. Come on, the book's in Bangladesh. I'm excited. There goes another country we can add to the list.
we did some, fun over there with the book publication. But
amazing.
We have to do it there. So, I'm excited to discuss about the book so that, the people that kind of, like to know about the book is alive. So we're going to talk about it.
Perfect.
And we can go a little bit more deep. Yep. Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we'll get this show started the way that we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Masahdur, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Masahdur, what mission matters to you?
Yeah, of course. You probably asked the same question before, right? So, I was not prepared for this question, but of course, in terms of the mission matters, of course, it's always, is important because every time you have to live for a purpose. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, like, for my mission, that first time you asked me, of course, the mission has changed maybe over the last 4, 5, 6 months, but the core is there. Mm-hmm. How to navigate to reach those missions, right? Mm-hmm. It's maybe changes a lot of stuff, but at this moment, as I said, like being an entrepreneur, I'm flexible enough to keep my mission already open. But at this moment, if you're asking at this moment, what is your mission, right? So, of course, right now, in terms of in terms of my business that I'm going to focus right now, because I'm kind of telling all the story from myself, more of my life in the journey that I have done last 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. Coming from the other country and part of the Khan Properties right now, that this is the mission that I'm kind of putting together. We have done a lot of ideas, brainstorming, all the stuff that we have done. Now we got to find out actual thing, how we can start getting the joy and the beauty of what we are trying to achieve. So going close to our reality, right? As an entrepreneur, we can imagine. This is the beauty that we have, right? We can imagine. So we grow, we're a team, we have imagined a lot of stuff, and we brainstorm a lot of stuff together, and this is the time to implement, and we're working on it. So the mission is to make a smooth operation, to build a team that we are focused and bringing the love in my team that we talked about in the book, how the leadership can change than the traditional leadership, that also looking at the entrepreneurship leadership is a key for your success. So that's kind of what I bring in my culture, and as well as adding this kind of goal with my family and the people that I care, make sure that they're also with me in the journey.
Mm-hmm. And so I mean, I've been on this journey with you as well. Now we've known each other, and the time flies when you're having fun. But since we started on this journey together, I've gotten to know more about yourself, your business, and really your journey. And through the series of interviews we've done now, and of course through your podcast, so American Dream, which we'll talk about that in a moment. But I wanna start with the book. So I published a lot of people at Mission Matters. I think we're going on. We've been in business now and for quite some time, and I think we're getting close to the 300 mark in terms of authors published. And out of all those authors, when I see like your title and your content, leading with love, to me, that really stuck out. When you think about somebody who says that in a business leader's book, and then when you back it up with the way that you conduct business and the way that you know, your philosophy and ideology, I just want to ask first off, to get us kicked off here, like, what was some of the inspiration behind that title and those thoughts? So leading with love, like, where'd you get that from?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and it's a basic question for me because this is my company is based on, right? So the answer will be like, if we can make the long story short, because in the journey that we're talking about the podcast, right? We're talking about we're gonna experience our entrepreneurship journey, not we are gonna go somewhere, right? We don't have the goal. We want to experience the journey. So when I started the business, you know, I felt that, you know, the business is, of course, I talked about in podcasts many times, and I'm going to talk about is, you know, that there's a transition, right? We become a transition in this world right now. So I felt like this is not the one that we are looking for. We more, of course, if there's a commerce in the business, finance, accounting, all the stuff is necessary. You have to have an idea to sustain. But what I felt that, you know, what we are trying to achieve in our journey to have, you know, joyfulness, you know, make sure that we have, you know, our positive mind all the time, you know, looking for something, they're not the traditional way. So I felt like if I become the entrepreneurship leadership, and if I wanna, what I'm looking for, my mission is to how to reach from A to B with the, you know, our best condition that we can live for our experience. So it's all about experience, everything, right? We go to the hotel, we stay, we get experience. We do any kind of things that we do with experience. So I like to do 1/3 of my life is doing like businesses, right? And spending right now probably 2/3, right? So I'm putting the businesses. So if I don't spend the time joyfully, and that cannot happen without love, because of course, I wish I can have the capacity. I can be a one person that can do everything, that I can do everything my way. There's no conflict, no confusion. I don't need to love anyone, right? So I can finish my mission with myself and do everything. But I don't think so. There's some, you know, when we grow, there's opposite way. You need to bring more people, 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of things going to happen that is really necessary, that we all are in the ease condition where, you know, the leading with love means, you know, you are actually becoming a lovable person, where you, as a leader, of course, you have a leading capacity. You are leading, you know what to lead, but in the meantime, you brought the sweetness that to that group, so that you are always welcome to the people. So that will bring the most out of, you know, your team, which will give you the joy, most output, because people are happy, they're working good. They're joyful, like, you know, when you're playing, you will give your best. So we want to be playful in our business journey. So that's the goal. And we want to make sure that we tell the entrepreneur that business is not all about stress. If you can bring something rather than not all about the transitions, not economics, then I think we have this love with the lead with the love can bring the business a better place to be. Get scared of the business. Some, you know, a family that don't want to be involved. They want to make sure you go to the good school, you go to Ivy League, get a good job, your life is settled. That's the, you know, but they don't want to put you in the things at risk. But no, that's how we are trying to tell the young entrepreneur, this is the place. And especially nowadays, this is the best era we are living in, right? A lot of, you know, we can discuss, but that's the things we kind of feel that love can bring the energy or a powerful element in your business leadership, where it can be like, you know, love always, you know, wins. And, you know, it is catalyst, you know, it has the most powerful tool in the business. in leadership. So, and this is free.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, is very important to think about bringing our conscious mind to being a leader in the industry, that how we use these things, the element that we have presence, and make it, and there are a lot of benefits we can discuss about it when you bring this leadership. Yes. Yeah.
And so in the book, you make a lot of points, and we're going to, and for everybody watching this, obviously pick up a copy and check it out for yourself. But I do want to draw out a couple, but you make a lot of points. So loving your work, find the thing that you love and turn it into your job. Don't let yourself be locked into what other people want you to do. Loving your people, give your people a legitimate chance to improve their lives. Focus on strengths and personalities over experience. Make work fun. So we're not going to go through all of these, but I want to give the audience a feel for the flavor of the content overall. But I just got to start with the one that, it's overlooked often, I feel like, but make work fun. Like, how do you do that? Because I'm a huge proponent of that. And I can still remember from when I was very young in my career, really early in my career, and they'd say like, what's the one thing or the one word that would describe you at work? And I was like, fun. And all these people look at me in a boardroom and they're like, yeah, that's probably, they were looking for a whole different answer. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have let me go first. That was my word. I went first. They were expecting something like perseverance or this or that, which I'm not saying that's a bad word, but I chose fun. What does that mean to you, having fun and doing what you?
So it's the same thing, that I discussed, it's the same principle. Mm-hmm. So first of all, it's all related one by one. Yeah. And I think when you read all the key points that we kind of addressed in the book, and it's not all should be like a regular thing. I feel the way I feel, like you are spending time, and to answer your question, I'll come back to you, but we are spending 50% of our time in the workplace. I talk. So if it's not fun, then you're going to get heart attack 10 years earlier then, because you're stretching your body all the time, because this is not the welcoming area. So you are coming to the work, you're doing something that you don't like. Like, give a small example. And if 3 people are digging something or doing some kind of tough work, right? So I probably sure that I told you, if you ask 3 people, they will reply different. What are you doing? Somebody maybe doesn't want to do the work. They will be very angry. Oh, I'm doing the hard work. You don't see what I'm doing. Somebody may be okay with that because he needs. Somebody will be doing joyfully because he knows the purpose of the work, what is happening. He has a clear vision. So what I'm saying that, it can be different. The same thing can be fun. It's all about the creating as a leader, as an environment. First, because to make it should not be that difficult, because there are perceptions here, right? As a leader, if you look for, say, okay, I want to look for fun. So what means you have to bring the love condition to the people that you are with you, around you. When I said that you bring the relationship with your team member, everything is relationship, your brother, sister, everything we create as some relationship, right? So in a higher employee, we say family. We said that you are in the team. So we want to make sure that the relationship we create is healthy and lovable, and they're trustable, and that we create the loyalty. So what come up with the idea that when we are on the same page, and then when, as a leader or individual person, when you can only think that you become a love rather than seeking for love from someone else, it's never going to work, because people keep changing. Maybe you love someone now, and because you understand what he's looking for, his mission is different after 3-4 years, so that he or she will change the strategy, and then you don't like them. So you don't seek love from the group or team. You just be loved. So when you can that, you always be bringing the pleasant emotion around you. So people will come to you to have do the fun thing. So it's going to be very easy. It just automatically ignite. When as a leader, entrepreneur, you actually you can become a love to the group, lovable person and welcoming. And as I say, if you don't make it fun, nobody want to do that. So it's going to be you can create that energy that we're talking about in our journey, because yes, we got to do everything we got to do, accountability, all the stuff. But when you make it fun, it creates the energy, life energy, and all the energy will create something that you can do maybe within 10 years. Maybe other people doesn't bring the love, need 50 years. So it's not saying what right or wrong, but I'm thinking that there's a huge thing that but sometimes kind of the same thing. How we make the work fun, because they don't want to see the boss, right? They don't want to be around other people. And when I was traveling to Bangladesh or different places, go to the different management, talking with them. So it's all about the management, right? The leadership that we're talking about. Like, maybe, 100 years ago, the leadership was bureaucratic leadership. The leadership was more, now you have a, democratic leadership. There was a Hitler. He has some type of leadership. So it was sometimes they feel it's needed, at that time. But we're in the era where, everybody has access to everywhere. And we're in the internet era. So there's nothing that, it just is, it's time for bringing this element that will work, because people have the freedom. People this is a time that you don't need to lead with fear, because people have the flexibility. They knows what's going on in the world, right? So if 200 years ago, maybe it did not work, because it was a different type of leadership necessary, right, at the time. But as I mentioned, right now, if we can bring a leadership which has the the entrepreneurship leadership with the love, and with the everybody wants to make sure that they're having fun in their workplace, so that can create a next better generation, rather than it's getting so complicated. Like when I went to the Bangladesh, a lot of proposals, a lot of ideas, but it's not going anywhere, because people are not talking about to actually from the heart, or I don't know, like a lot of stuff that we kind of feel that it be authentic, So when it be authentic, it can be very lovable, and because you don't have the fear to be with other people. So you're very clear, yeah. So that's what I did, and I make sure that the job gets fun, like whatever you like to do. It can be anything, For example, when I was in the hotel industry, sorry, the long story, but taking a long time, but when I was an engineer, everybody said, "Oh, you're an engineer. You are doing like engineering job, very sophisticated things, And cool, You can work in the car, you work in this kind." But when I was becoming entrepreneur, when I got the platform to be a hotelier, because something comes, that was convenient that time, at the right time, right place, right things. So, but I felt that as an entrepreneur, when I thought I'm entrepreneur, working in a company, it's cool. It's working in a GM or Toyota or Intel. Yeah, I understand there is nothing wrong or wrong, but I don't understand the business.
Yeah,
I just do the work. Like, I don't feel how things working behind the scene. Like, I thought like, no, I have to be, even though I have to be small business owner, even the 15, 20 rooms of the something real estate. I want to be know ins and out, how to make money, how to make profit. I just don't know what's going on. Like, I just do something like maybe a fraction of something. So which I don't feel that I'm belonging. So I'm together. I'm complete in my job. So just kind of back to complete my job. Myself, not to fulfill myself 100%. I thought I should do something. It's just give to the business, which it doesn't matter, hotel or is a real estate or is a internet or something. 80% are same. To bring the culture, the team find the things. Working with the vendors, engineer. A lot of stuff you do, regardless. The product is something. Really, 20% of the knowledge that you can bring hire people. But to be entrepreneur, you have to be open-minded. So, do anything you like to do, and you can make it a business case, and it will grow, it will flourish, because you like to do that. It's doing from the heart. And make it out of fun. People will be coming to you. You don't need to worry about bringing people, because they will come to you, because you are so sweet.
So, Speaking of, I want to jump around here a bit. I do want to spend a little bit of the time we have here today talking about the American Dream podcast as well. For those maybe that didn't catch some of our previous work or previous times I've had you on the show, maybe give them an overview of the podcast. Let's start there.
Okay. So the podcast, of course, this is the kind of new industry. Of course, I took the benefit of podcast when there was a pandemic happened. There's not much to do. Of course, I was working very hard. Like hard means like a lot of pieces put together, building the new hotels, during the pandemic, a lot of decision making every day, every hour is changing, supply chains, availability, pricing, supplier, vendors, putting together a lot of puzzles. And in the meantime, I see the opportunity. The market is coming because of pandemic. So there's something going wrong, and the whole country is full of one issue. So I thought, like, this is the time, need to give a deeper thing. So, and of course, enjoy the family first 3 months. Everybody's together in a small, in the house, and I think this was a very beautiful time, first 3 months. And when we have the realization happen, okay, it's gonna get longer, right? It's not 3 months. So, hey, what are you gonna do? So, well, I will start becoming more aggressive to know, like, what are the right things to do. So, finding some resources online, spending time, getting my own time, especially at night, what I needed to know what's actually going to happen tomorrow. So I was listening to podcasts, and then when that things come from the Mission Matters, I thought, like, this is the time when, and this is a technology that, that's what I thought, like, it's not all about, like, what I'm doing, it's all about, like, what I'm reaching to the people. And if it's about what I'm doing is going to benefit to the other people. That's the purpose here, right? Yeah. And I thought by doing the podcast is a tool that I can use to go more than one people. Like, you are open to the whole world, whole cosmos, whole universe, right? So, it's just we are so lucky to have this kind of, the resources. So what a beautiful thing we have technology. Like, if look at that, if what I'm trying to tell to the world, like 50 years ago, I probably can only tell 15, 20 people in small groups, and they talk, and it just takes so much. But we have that capacity, and I thought this is so talking about the podcast, I thought, like, the best things to do my story, because I don't know how that is significant, it's new, or something that people probably don't know, or what I felt that, telling the base that I don't have a entrepreneurship, the preparation that I have made educationally, right? I did not go to the business school. I did myself. So everything is raw, is organic. It came from who I am. And I kind of, sometimes, what I did what I like to do. And of course, like, it's risky, and I don't want to recommend for everybody to do that, because I'm lucky that it worked. And I felt that it worked because everybody is unique and different, because I cannot guarantee that it's work for you, because nobody can do that way that I have done. It's impossible. There's not such a thing. Maybe they will do better, but is it really repeating? We are not robot each other. So there will be some differences. So that's why you have the beauty to be unique. If everybody's saying there's, you'll be boring. So what I'm trying to say that here, so the podcast allow me to reach the people that I feel that something maybe, uniqueness out of box, because that's what I get a lot of compliment. I receive a lot of hours, recognition. So when I have those, I felt like rather than just, of course, your life, we mentioned that, how you can contribute yourself some way, that you don't need to be big, you need to be the richest person in the world, or you need to be the most educated people. So whatever you have, how we can contribute to ourselves to tell our story. And of course, there's a business case scenario also there. Of course, your time and energy, your life is all about. It's not all about the priority here, but it's an industry that people can come. It's a $1 billion industry that you have the opportunity to come. So it's kind of win-win situation. So that's kind of podcast. But talking about American Dream, like how not having the baseline of the business degree and family. I'm the first generation coming from different country, going through the different, it's entrepreneurship is very easy now. I would say, like, you guys are, like, the young people are blessed to have this kind of generation, because you ask question, Google, you got the answer.
Yeah.
Right? It's just so easy time. Let's take the advantage of it. When it started, like, I saw that before and after the internet, because we can feel it. The new people, Gen X or whatever, the new generation, millennial, they're difficult to understand what are the differences between before and after the internet, fourth revolution, industrial revolution that we are having. It's so easy. You go, if you do whatever you like to do, it's just possibility, the internet, technology. So I would say, like, of course, the challenge is there, it's getting faster. Everywhere is different, same way to same thing, right? The previous generation faced different thing. Are they happy? Yes, they're happy. Their life was fulfilled. Some of them not. The same thing. It's a different story. But question is how you can make the dream come true with the joyness that we really needed in the meeting. That's what I'm saying. And the end of the day, we like to feel the joy, because a lot of people that I talked, when we talked about the entrepreneurship business, yes, when people were successful people you're talking about, I think at the end of the time they're enjoying it, but their past history is they had to go through a lot of hurdles. Yes, but mindset changes. How you can take those pain is a positive way, make it the energy, make it the lesson learned, make it like take it, accept it, acknowledge it, and just push yourself the things that you like to do. And you have to understand, we talked about the true entrepreneurship means it's not all about trying some ideas and works or not works. Yeah, this is one of the things, but we're talking about the true entrepreneur, where you are dedicated to your life, to sacrifice your pain, even life.
Yeah,
talking about, right? And life means, like, of course, you have a 24 hours a day. So I have a lot of questions, like, what are you doing? Of course, so priority changes over the times, and because of the pandemic, all the stuff with the world is behind, and everybody needs to work really harder to kind of catch up that stuff. But I think when you are, that's what I'm talking about, the true entrepreneur, while you see future, how you connect those things put together to make it the reality. And that's the leadership you need. And that's you need to learn. You can learn it. It's not that you have to have it. But of course, some reason I think I had it or I tried to learn it different way. I push myself, go out of the box. I did out of, sometimes I did like what I felt that I'm not even ready, I'm like ready 0%. So how I can make to 0 to 90? It's just mindset, the positiveness, willingness, all the things that that you need to provide in your entrepreneurship journey to make it fullest. That's what the podcast is talking about. We talk about some of the element is important. One day, maybe I felt that today my success came from that kind of leadership. And I try to remember to talk about it, but maybe I forgot. And when I do the recording and something come up, and I just tell what I need to tell at that moment, and just take 20, 30 minutes to tell that the goal is here to tell you that, okay, there is a path, and also talk about the industry, hospitality industry that I'm in, how the industry can be better place to be with right now because of the pandemic. People know how to travel. People like travel. People, travel with for work from home, business travel, a lot of such changes. So this is the industry is going to boom. So we talk about that also, how the industry can be fulfill your entrepreneurial journey as long as with the patience. You bring your patience, your leadership skill, all things that we are talking about, how to make your life success. And the success is here, how we can bring the sweetness around you, or how much money you're making, how much muscles you have. We are talking about like how we can bring the sweetness to the emotion where other people are involved.
Yeah.
Kind of leadership we want to bring in our journey. That's what I'm trying to say. And that has a beauty. And that's the benefit. Health benefit, the benefit for retention, benefit for growth, benefit for fund scaling, all kind of stuff. So to make a journey where you can ride a long way, maybe waves, but if you're a surfer, what do you want? You don't want a short waves. If you're a surfer, you want a big wave. So the big wave's gonna come. You have to act as a pro. That's the way of teaching here.
And that's one of the things that I kind of enjoy about your podcast overall is just the realness of it, really, and the way that you're going through your journey, you're sharing your lessons, but also you're giving a bunch of takeaways so that other people can learn from your wins, your losses, and really everything in between. Well, Masahiro, I just have to say it has been great having you back on the show, and I'm so excited and thrilled about this book and to be able to promote it with you and get your word out there. And thank you for taking the book to Bangladesh, as you mentioned. I just have to ask, what's next for you? What's next for your career? Like, what's next?
Good question. What's the next? Yeah, so you're not spiritual or you're in a business. So I'm just joking.
I'll take both. What's next?
So we can mix it. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
For me, the question, of course, I gotta talk about. We're doing some podcasts and we have a plan to write some books down the future. So what I feel that there's no next, right? Because you don't know what is next. Of course, we have to prepare for next. So, and we'll talk about it. So I just want to tell that sometimes we think about too much about next, and then we overthink, and the next doesn't happen, because next never gonna happen, because it's gonna be changing. The technology, all the stuff that we talked about, it's gonna be changed. Every hour things are changing. So as I said, being an entrepreneur, that's what we're teaching in the podcast, how we can be open-minded, how we be willing to be changed with the surroundings, with especially in the first changing world right now, so much fast. People are like fasting. Like sometimes I made a deal. I'm boarding the plane. I have 8 hours flight, and I know that I wanted the deal. So I boarded. I said that broker and attorney that, hey, this is what I like it, but it's very difficult to get it, but let's make it. I have 8, you guys have 10 hours to deal with it when I'm in the plane. I will not have a service. If you need, email me. I'll check for a few hours with the internet, and then I want to take some rest. But when I get down, it's already contracted, the real estate. So this is how the business is running. So it's a fast pacing. So you dream, especially the core vision. But I'm saying, like, we need to stick with our core, what we are looking for to be in our journey. So what we are looking for to journey, as we discussed. Same thing, implementing the ideas and building the team and growing faster than other people, so that we can be ahead of the game and find something that the need and society, and if the need changes, we'll change ourselves. So in terms of the business, this is in terms of myself. I have some plan to be explore myself a little bit more. Maybe take some vacation with the nature, and and I've been away from my country, running after my patients and entrepreneurship journeys. And of course, when you are coming to the America, you don't have time running the business, family, working mom. When you have a smart wife, is a problem, because they get busy themselves. But she's doing her best. Thank you. And so, question is like, so what just next? Like, how I can be happy now? Tomorrow after 1 hour. So make sure that I'm joyful, and whatever happens to the world, you just do whatever is necessary to do to make yourself. Because what I'm saying, that this is you who need to control yourself. That's kind of I learned, slowly and over the journey, that and that was when you give your control to other people, it's a disaster going to happen. So that's what my goal is, how we can control ourselves, the team, our ownership of the job, how we can be clear and communicate properly. We have a lot of here and there, buying products, selling products, 1031 exchange, taking the 1031. We will talk about all the things in the podcast, how we can take the tax benefit, all the stuff. There is a country of opportunity, give the entrepreneur to be like, this is a country you can be entrepreneur easily, and this you gotta try. If not, then I think you gotta think of yourself. Like, if you have some desire, this is the best country to be, because a lot of things. I looked at the different Bangladesh, other places. There are a lot of things, a lot of stuff. So, but long story short, that how we can create something that we enjoy, and we bring the value to our company, and just enjoy our life, all together. So that's and like, we want to take control ourselves, and rather than our happiness, company's happiness, or our personal happiness doesn't rely on somebody else's hand. So we are focusing how we can make it better, control and make it more reasonable to everybody.
Perfect. Well, Massador, just have to say, as always, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Great having you back on. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you learned a lot. Hope you gained a lot. If you did, don't forget, hit that subscribe button because we have many more mission-based individuals coming up on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Massador, really has, as always, been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching, and thank you for having me in the Mission Matters live shows. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. Thank you, viewers.